Hi guys, it's Carissa. I chose not to update yesterday and I figured I feel bad I'm bombarding you guys. But I wanted to wait until today to let you know what's going on because yesterday was kind of nothing happened. So to better explain, when I went in for my ultrasound, there was a nurse and a new nurse who was like shadowing her. I think that she's just in her like early days of being with the practice, so she had come in the room. And most of the time they look for my right ovary first and measure everything and then move on to the left. This time this nurse measured my entire left ovary and then proceeded to try and find my right ovary, and it was pretty much impossible to see. We could kind of see where it might have been, but the ultrasound was very dark and kind of grainy where it was for the previous day. So she had the woman who was shadowing her pressing on my abdomen as hard as she could, like all her upper body strength, pushing down to try and pop my ovary towards my uterus, or away from my uterus, I guess I should say, because it tends to tuck underneath it. And then the other nurse with the wand was probing as hard as she could. I was describing it to my sister as, if you picture like the center of your palm like this as being where your cervix is, she had it angled towards the right, trying to find the right ovary, and she was just grinding it up and down. It was probably in the top 5 worst pain of my life. But I'm fine with that. I wanted them to try and find it because we need those measurements and we need that information. So I was really disappointed that there wasn't anything more that I could do really to make it show. So she asked me if there was any chance that I had been constipated, and I made a video on the side effects that I was having from the injectable medications, but I don't know, I get worried. I know that it's sensitive for people sometimes to watch videos like that, and they might think that I'm complaining, and I'm not. I'm so excited to be doing this, and I feel so blessed, and sometimes I can't even believe I'm involved in this. And so I didn't post that video because I thought, I don't want people to think, no matter how well I try to address it, I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining. I was just trying to share what my experience was, because most people claim that they're very bloated and they can really feel their ovaries, and that's not the case with me. I was experiencing other things and decided not to share them, but one of the main things was that I had noticed that I was constipated, which is very strange considering I'm on metformin for insulin resistance for the PCOS. And I'm not saying that I have diarrhea all day long or anything with metformin, but basically I noticed that about 10 to 12 hours after I take my dose, I take 4 pills of metformin once a day, and about 10 to 12 hours later, normally my stool is affected, but not severely. I had to work my tolerance up and get to a place where it was better, but I feel like in that 10 to 12 hour period after the fact, I eliminate a lot of waste out of my body, almost everything, I would think. So that hasn't been happening. And in fact, I had a loss of appetite, and all I've really wanted is water. I've been drinking a ton of water, a lot more than I normally do. And so even though I have had bowel movements, they haven't been as productive. So I wouldn't really say I'm constipated, but I'm like a little bit. When she said that, I thought, well, that must be it. It's whatever's in there is pressing my ovary out of the field of view for the ultrasound. So they told me to go and buy milk of magnesia and take that. And basically my goal between yesterday's appointment and today's appointment was to make sure that I emptied my bowels as much as possible. I would say that yes, I did, but there wasn't any like major progress. I think it was just more frequent, and I was pretty happy with kind of the amount I eliminated from yesterday to today. But I didn't have any major like breakthrough moment. In fact, I was kind of surprised that the milk of magnesia didn't just completely wreck me, but I wouldn't have cared. I would have been happy to get it out of the way so that we could see where the progress is and actually have information, you know, for my retrieval. So when I went in today, of course, I was a little bit nervous, thinking that they were going to have the same problems and they were going to put me through all the pressing and the grinding. And I had a different nurse come in, and she was very, very gentle. In fact, it seemed like she had the wand pulled out a little bit more than usual. And I think that that's the only reason she could see my ovary, because as it's been growing, I think it has been hiding even more, where you would think the opposite would happen. It would be more prominent. But the room for it to grow must be away from the field of view from the ultrasound. So I'm sure it's growing. I'm sure it's progressing, but we don't know what's happening with it. So the nurse yesterday might have just been pushing it away more, is all I can guess. Is when she was really, really pushing and trying to see it, she might have just been pushing it away, and that's why we couldn't even see so much as the outline of one follicle. Today she was able to measure, I think, 6 or 7 follicles on that ovary, but you could tell it was all partial measurements, and a lot of them, like one of them measured at a 19, but she said, I really can't be sure if that's 1 or 2. You know, it could be 2 that are just under 10s, and I could be wrong. So we can't really even trust any of the measurements of my right ovary at this point. Now, knowing that it tends to lag behind my left one, I wouldn't expect that I have lead follicles there anyway. If I had one that's like a 22, 23 on my right side right now, I would be amazed, because my left side doesn't seem to be progressing very well either. I think I had one that was like a 22, and then a few that were 14, 16, 17. So they anticipate that by Monday, the ones that are around a 14 will be mature at around an 18, but basically she counted all of the ones that were possible, you know, that could be possible contenders to be mature by Monday. But she said if we look at how many we could say are for sure likely going to take, I have 10. So I have 10 follicles that she's anticipating will be useful. 10 of the visible ones. And because of the way they do the retrieval, there's no way of knowing what they get out of the left or the right side. So if somehow that number just completely doubles or, you know, jumps way up from that, then we can know and suspect that a lot of that came from the right side that we couldn't see. So it is a little bit discouraging, especially because I think just as a nurse and doing what she does without realizing it, she made me feel like our odds aren't very good. She just sounded like, well, you know, I'm always hopeful there's more that we didn't see. Just, you know, be glad we've got 10. And, you know, she kept trying to give me like the sunny side of the situation, which led me to believe, should I be more worried than I am? Because I guess I wasn't worried. I guess as long as I have 2 follicles that look like they're going to be worth it, I don't care, because that gives me a little bit of hope. So I'm not going to let myself worry about that. But her tone at the end of the appointment was very much like, well, this doesn't look very good. It's fine though. I'm going to just keep moving like everything is the same, and just hope that a lot of what we can't see is going to improve our chances. And I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to worry, because there's so much my brain can go in 100 horrible directions, you know, like what if it doesn't matter because all of them have cysts and not eggs, or no eggs at all, and I can really let myself get worried, and I'm not going to do that. Every now and then my brain kind of creeps into that territory, and I just try and shut that down. So I am most likely going back tomorrow, but they'll call me this afternoon. It's based on my estrogen level. My estrogen went from about 900 to about 1300, I think she said. So she said that if it's 2,000 or higher from today's blood draw, then they will want to see me to prevent running into a hyperstimulation situation. So I won't know until like between like 2 and 5 o'clock today if I have to go tomorrow. But otherwise, for sure, it looks like I'm triggering tomorrow. And then Monday will be the retrieval. So if my estrogen doesn't jump way up and I don't go in tomorrow, I'm still going to trigger tomorrow night and then have my retrieval on Monday out of town. So Mike and I will be driving about 2 hours away and getting everything done there. And I am supposed to have acupuncture either before or after the retrieval. So I'll probably schedule that at the other facility that we're going to because they have it there as well if they have an appointment available. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a very strange day here today. It's kind of been on and off snowing, a little bit raining. It's been kind of gray. And I don't have to work until this afternoon because I'm actually waiting for supplies. So I guess I kind of can't. I have to like take the morning off because I ran out of some supplies. So until UPS gets here, I'm just going to rest. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to play some music. I got my kitty here and my dog. Come say hi, Normal. She doesn't want to. So I'm just going to relax. I'm in my nightgown, sorry. And just wait for my phone call and see what happens. But I'm not going to, she wants to get in the window. I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to hope, and I will update you when I know more. So thanks everybody for sticking with me and all of your patience and support. And I will, whoa, sorry. It's awfully sunny now. I'll update you when I know more. Okay? Thank you guys.